Hey everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. Today we are looking back on the first Premier Battles event of the year, the first match day of Season 2. Premier Battles was back. This was on the 9th of February, Saturday the 9th of February. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I am joined by one of the most steadfast fans of this shit, a real historian, archivist after my own heart, the update god himself, young Crumpet. How's it going, man?
How's it going, Tom? Really good, man.
In general, we're going to get to each battle through by through. I mean, you've been to a lot of events. You've watched a fuckload of battle rap. Like, how would you rate Match Day 1 yesterday?
It was a really fucking good event. I'd say a best Premier event in terms of, like, back and forth battles. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think there was a clear winner on either side, to be honest.
Okay, that's interesting, because I've been going through your update thread and various people have been adding to it and something. There seems to be a few, perceived whitewashes, and I've spoke to a few people who were at the event as well who gave their thoughts, and some of them were a little underwhelmed perhaps with the quality, although, I asked 3 or 4 guys, and it was very mixed actually. Some thought it was brilliant, some thought it was a little bit lackluster in points, but we'll get to that. Like, Premier Battles is famous for a lot of innovative things, such as the combine, the grid system, the teams, etc. And the ambiance is pretty much like anything else. Like, was there much chanting? How were the crowd?
There was a bit, like, you get the occasional Premier Battles, but there was no, like, battler chant in particular. So, yeah, like, there was that crowd atmosphere, like, there was that clear division in terms of teams, where, one representative would be chanting, team supporters would be chanting for their respective, battlers.
And just before we get to the battles and the event, I have to apologise. My voice is a little hoarse at the moment. I went to Birmingham for the weekend. It's a little shot. And just before also we get into it, please follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Get in touch with me, battlerapresume@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, you want to give back to the show, you can support us on Patreon. All the episodes like this and anything else goes on there first. iTunes leaves a review. All that stuff. Go back through the archive on the YouTube and subscribe. So, Connor, you get to the venue. The venue was called The Venue, right? Confusingly?
The venue. Yeah, it's the same venue that they had Matchday 4, which is like O'Shea Koje.
Oh, yeah,
so it was a pretty, like, a smaller one than the Ruby Lounge. Mm-hmm. A really nice venue.
How many people were there? Were they sold out, or?
I don't know. I think they did. They sold out about a week ago. I'd say it was definitely about 100, 150.
Okay.
So quite a big one.
Yeah, I saw that they had some final tickets on the door, so I know that they did well, and that's great. And, it makes sense. It is a really innovative product that they've got. The venue as a whole, then, is that kind of classic battle rap shelter sort of thing. Looks a little bit like Zombie Shack to my eyes. Is it kind of got that vibe? Or?
It's a lot bigger than Zombie Shack. Yeah, but it is that kind of like you take a set of stairs and it's all completely underground, like Ruby Lounge. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a really nice venue. Could definitely see a lot of events happening there in the future.
And before the event started properly, the Irish were missing.
Yeah, I think something happened with their plane and they were delayed or something. So they had to get a flight at like 1:30 over here. So they arrived at like 3 o'clock-ish.
And the first battle was Lefty versus D-Mac. Obviously, D-Mac graduated from the academy. D-Mac, who asked me to come on Battle Rap Resume the other week, and I was like, definitely down to have him on. Big fan of that guy. It was just because the Hades battle hadn't dropped yet. Yeah. Now, what's been your opinion on the Hades backlash? Because I saw that battle live. I told D-Mac in the interview that we did, and also on my recap that I did with the Brill guys, and they agreed as well. We had him taking it. We were, we thought he was pretty fantastic. All the comments, not so much. It's kind of a classic dichotomy of live and on cam, isn't it?
Exactly. I had him edging it 2-1 on live. And I personally have Hades edging it back. It's a good back and forth battle. Nothing wrong with that.
No, but I mean, it's just D-Mac's getting a lot of hate, really. And I guess the issue was I couldn't hear Hades at the time. He was quite a soft-spoken dude. And, camera a bit more full frontal, you can appreciate that. But I don't know. I still like D-Mac, and I just think it's a little unwarranted how people are gunning for him.
I think D-Mac has in UK Battle Rap one of the most like refined performances. He would when he faces someone, he's just really in their face, really shouty, and I think in the room that kind of takes it by that kind of like takes it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, while Hades is a bit in your face, but it's a lot like quieter than DMAC. So I think that's what like is the difference. But on cam, I had Hades 2-1.
Yeah. We are live streaming this as well. Fawnley Pogson saying in the chat, "You've been to the venue, Tom. I've literally seen you there. One of Don't Flop Revivals was there." Yeah, it was Revival 7. I think I've just sort of erased that terrible event from my mind. But yeah, okay, I can picture the venue now. It is a very, very cool event. So how was DMAC Lefty? Because DMAC had a lot of hype coming into this, regardless of the Hades stuff. But Lefty's an old pro, isn't he? Lefty's a fantastic battler.
Oh yeah, Lefty's really like calm and collected person. While DMAC is, as I said, he's a really like high energetic, you know, in your face type of guy. So it was definitely that kind of like clash of performances.
Now, how was DMAC? Like, was he high spirited? Was the writing better? Like, how did he fare?
He was. I feel he was very quick in his. It was like, I feel the writing was on the same level it was versus Hades, but I think the nerves were like he was speaking very fast.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and he was. I felt he was good. You know, he just. I think he needed to slow down a bit more.
It seems like the consensus is that Lefty just kind of, you know, stalled on him. Just had that presence, that authority.
Lefty definitely, like, this was classic Lefty, you know, he was just taking the piss out of him, just keeping it calm and collective. I really loved it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great to see Lefty back in the league. Like, we did an episode a few months ago with Joker going through the first quarter tryouts and rewatching Lefty versus Orcs. And Lefty's always been hilarious. Like, he's always just been such an, you know, he's got such an artisanal approach to battle. He puts together his punches very well, very effective. And I guess it makes sense that this kicked off the day, these type of battlers.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest people in UK battle rap.
That's true.
And yeah, it was a really good opener, I think.
How were the crowd? Was there huge, you know, response? Was there a furore? Like,
there wasn't much response for DMAC stuff. I think just because he was going so quick. He did have a couple of reactions here and there, but it was, in terms of crowd reaction, it was definitely in Lefty's favour.
And I know we went over this when we had you on last for the retaliation episode, the Don't Flop episode. Yeah. But, you know, obviously through the Battle Rap Resume Twitter and stuff like that, I try and do updates when I can. If you're at the event, I'm not going to do updates because you're just way better at it, way more disciplined. Like, they're hard to do, aren't they? Like, it's underrated to watch. And, like, I've seen a few comments saying you got bars wrong and stuff, but that's just par for the course.
Yeah. Like, it's a bit rushing, you know, you can't... it's hard to actually react to bars because it's just take them in and then type them out. Yeah. So it does kind of like take away from the experience itself. But, you know, I enjoy it.
And most people agreeing then that Lefty took that. Was there any, you know, disagreement in the room? Or?
Well, the judges did give it 2-1 to Lefty, but someone did give it to DMAC. I think it was Rory who gave it to him.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess there were some people who gave it to DMAC at the end.
I don't know if you would have saw at the time. This is just what I'm catching up retrospectively. Apparently, DMAC took away Will Ross's judging card. Didn't want to be judged by an Academy guy.
Oh yeah, Will Ross commented something about that, about how DMAC took the judging card of him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I imagine it kind of makes sense to a certain extent. You have your brand to project. You want to be judged by higher ups and stuff like that. But it's also slightly diva-ish, slightly petty. I mean, I don't think Will Ross is going to have any bias. He's quite an intelligent guy and he knows his battle rap. Like,
yeah, I love Will.
Yeah, Will is killing it. I mean, stuff like Lefty, like even the D in DMAC stands for disappointing, which, you know, isn't that good of a bar really. But I can envision how Lefty delivered that.
Yeah, Lefty just. All delivered his stuff like really just cool, really calm, and just really casual. And I guess that really played into the crowd.
Into Matter versus Hulk next. How was this?
Matter versus Hulk was pretty good. It was definitely a lot like... It was definitely another bars versus joke thing. Hulk was, again, in Matter's face a bit, while Matter was joking around, you know.
Yeah.
I think Matt's always been like a really funny guy, but he has those bars in as well, which makes him such a dangerous performer.
And I'm hearing Hulk choked in the third.
He did. He kind of like got 4 bars in and then just stopped, repeated those 4 bars again, stopped again, and started freestyling. Which is a shame.
I mean, Matt has just got so much experience. He's battled so many people. He's battled fucking the Saurus. Like, he's been on these giant stages, and it's kind of very much, it's hard to get something past him. And if you do slip up like that, you probably are going to lose. Like, the only reason Matt lost his soul on Premier Battles is because it's fucking soul. Like, who won here? Regardless of the choke, who had the better material in your eyes?
Who had the better material? See, Hulk's first round was probably the best event of the event.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think while Matt was more consistent with it, Hulk had more of those up and down moments. So Hulk had better highs and lower lows. So it's really a kind of toss up. I personally had Matter winning 2-1 because of the third, but Hulk definitely took the first.
And what was the judging decision on that one at the end?
The judging decision was Matter. 2-1, I think.
2-1. Okay. So the next battle I'm hearing, Maverick was jumping around. He was so ready to battle.
Oh, yeah, Maverick, because obviously we had to wait like an hour for the Irish to come.
Yeah.
And Maverick was just spinning his bars to me outside. He was more than ready. He had it all rehearsed. And he was just really looking forward to getting back in the ring, Yeah.
I'm so fucking happy that Mav's back. Like, I remember outside launch codes, he spat some of his Matrix material to me that was just absolutely outstanding. So he's on that upper echelon. He's such a skilled performer. I really just like Maverick as well. I think he's a really good dude. So he was versing Ty, who is a very sorry.
Ty the Poet, yeah.
Ty the Poet. I mean, all battlers have to call themselves the Poet, right? It seems like such a common suffix that comes through. Maybe he'll drop it, maybe keep it, I don't know. But battling Ty, who, I watched the Ganif battle, and I really like Ty, actually. I think he's a very young, kind of undetermined guy in a lot of senses, but has tons of potential and charisma. And anyone that does any Artemis foul bars is golden in my book. How was this? Because this is a giant challenge for Ty coming overseas to face a beast like Maverick.
Oh, yeah. Ty was clearly the underdog in this battle. And I think it was kind of like similar battles. And Maverick was, again, all up in his face, with he's how he always has been, with the whole, like, really high energy, really punching every second bar. And Ty was how he's always been as well. Just he's in his face, but still, like, really cool, really calm with it, He did have that aggression there. I think it was a really good battle.
Sounds like it was a good battle. This is probably the one I'm most looking forward to watching back. Maverick had quite a short first, I'm hearing.
Yeah, Maverick did. I think his first and second were pretty short, but they were really good. Like, they were packed full of material.
Yeah, and I guess that's sort of the Premier Battles way, isn't it, as well? They encourage sort of those 90 seconds or whatever. I mean, this Ty bar that you wrote, looking for skeletons in the closet, forgetting that you could be the next one.
Yeah, that's Ty for you. That's all shit he comes with. He talks that real shit and he can really sell it.
Something controversial in Ty's rounds, though, is that Balaclava was involved.
He did. He's had his third, the start of his third round was all about, how the Brits invaded Irish years ago, and all that. Basically having a go at Maverick for that, and he did get our Balaclava at one point and put it on, and a massive reaction. Yeah,
naturally so. Maverick came with some wire bars referencing Omar.
Yeah, he did have this whole, he did have this part during his third, stopped mid-round and did the whole Omar whistle, and had a bar about that, It was, this was some really fucking good stuff from Maverick.
Would you say Battle of the Night, this one?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, cool. This is exciting. Really? It's definitely the one that I'm first going to go to. I should say as well, I'm not sure exactly what Premier Battles are doing this new season. I know they're trying new things in terms of distribution, but sign up to the network, and we'll put all the socials down for Premier Battles down there. And if there is a pay-per-view, this definitely go support. Apex as well is coming up Saturday, the 7th of September. Chef Trez got an Chef Trez versus Shocks is the battle that's going down there, right?
That's Shocks going out. It's really
wow. That's fucking fire. That's fucking fire. I mean, Shock's like, he does always seem to get the also-rans on the internationals slightly, like Coma and Lou Cypher. I mean, no offense, but you know what I mean? Like, they're not kind of mad flex. But I think someone like Chef Trez is like one of the best in the world right now. So that is just, that's going to be absolutely incredible. And around this time as well, Maverick was announced as replacing Tox on Pride.
Yeah, just after the battle, obviously Tox dropped out of Pride, so Maverick's his replacement.
Fine replacement.
Yeah. It's a shame that because I think just before the battle, before Major Concerns versus Terminal, Maverick was actually just before the camera started rolling, Maverick was calling out Terminal and saying how he'd body him, and Terminal actually finished that battle calling out Maverick, and so it's a shame Pride versus Celts has already happened, because Maverick versus Terminal on Premier would be fucking insane.
Yes, that would be a terrific match. Also hearing that Ty choked when he had the balaclava on.
He did have a bit of a choke in his third. It's a shame, It probably helped, but still, it was a fuck up. But I think that's the only reason Maverick clearly won, because it was really close up until then.
Next up was Johnny Darko, again for the Irish, facing off against Jay Short. Johnny Darko, who I've been getting into recently, I picked up the Chopping Fables event. Yeah. You were on, right? You were on that event.
I was.
Yeah. And Huey Boom and a few other guys that I'm really, really like. But yeah, he versus Scabman's the Scoldy on that, and that was a really good battle. I was very impressed by Johnny's stuff. And I'm hearing he was slightly robbed by Jay Short. Apparently Jay Short didn't win, but obviously got the judging.
There were a lot of people in the room who had Johnny winning. Yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah. I personally had Johnny winning. But yeah, it was pretty close. I feel this wasn't like, I don't feel Jay Short was as good as he was versus Podge, but he still came with it. He had a really good performance, and Johnny was just on form as usual.
I mean, it's great that Johnny could come over and, he is a relative unknown, and Jay Short has faced so many fucking people over the years, so many huge names, and he is a really accomplished all-around battler. I don't know, it's a bit alarming that Jay Short didn't just take this. I mean, obviously he got the decision, but the consensus seems to be that it wasn't like it wasn't a vet laying down the law. Like,
I think they were going pretty back and forth. Johnny was just like he usually is, just going in punch after punch after punch, and Jay Short was the same. So it was pretty like back and forth until like I think the third round, Jay Short had a bit of a slip up at the end, which. People saw as a choke, and he ended it on that. So, I think that's kind of like the major decision point for that.
Okay.
And I think that's the reason that everyone has Johnny winning.
And how was Johnny's performance, his projection?
Oh, it was really fucking good. He was really in his own. Obviously, as I said, a lot of the crowd wouldn't have known him much. He'd only had 2 bars on Rappers Full. But, he was just really comfortable with it, and the crowd were reacting. And so, I mean, obviously the venue's only pretty small, so everyone would have been able to hear him anyway, but still, he was really fucking good.
And the next battle was the battle that I was most looking forward to. I adore both of these guys. Major Concerns versus Terminal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. This was classic Major Concerns.
He's just the best, man. I just love him. He just came out of nowhere, and he just punches like a beast. It's that sort of writerly material that I can't get enough of.
Yeah, I think this was a really fucking good performance from him. Maybe on the level of his Bentner one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty fucking good, and Terminal came in and fucking killed it like he usually does. Man, Terminal was really good.
Briggsy told me to go through Terminal to make sure I take off.
Yeah.
That's fucking good. That's so good.
Tom Hanks line.
Stuck in Terminal, yeah. Something stuck in Terminal. I guess Terminal as a name is such a treat. And Major and Concerns as well, likewise. How was Terminal?
Terminal's really fucking good. I think, he's an incredible writer. And I guess now he's on Premiere. Now he's probably on Premiere because he had the dial-up battle Iron Island, and I think people have established Celts as like the underdog team just because no one really knows who they are. So I think they definitely came. So I think he definitely had that thing to prove. He was going against a crowd favorite, a local guy, and so I think he really came with it. I'd say he was as good as he was versus Lazy Ass Jack. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Terminal really, if he pushed himself, can be a fantastic battler, and he has had great performances. Sometimes his cadence, I think he needs to vary up slightly. It can get a little monotonous, and he packs things with so many references that they sort of don't quite cohere together. I think Major Concerns has got more of that performative aspect to him. But by all accounts, this was a bit of a war from both.
Oh yeah, it was really fucking good. They were both. It was back and forth. Major Concerns came like he usually does, was punching as much as he usually does, and Terminal just stepped up with the writing, so I'm really happy. It's a really fucking good battle live.
Major got the vote in the end with that one.
Major did get the vote 2-1. I did edge it to him, but I can see how people will give it to Terminal, and there were people who were saying it's a bit of a robbery. I think in a close battle, like 2-1 isn't that much of a robbery if someone got the other round.
Yeah, I'm hearing as we get into Rivers versus Matter, there's a lot of people trying to get on camera. I mean, that's inevitable for these sort of things, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we had like 10 minutes. The battle was supposed to start, and then everyone was like, it was a really tight circle, so they had to like actually get in railings just to just to get that barrier out.
And I'm hearing good friend of the show, ardent commenter on BRR, JD James was kicked out of the venue.
No, that was fucking XL taking the pick. JD James TKP won there.
Right. I was gonna. You were battling those guys, right? 2-on-2, Dub Scandal.
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna be a fun one. They're both dog shit, but people think that they can test to me.
When is that? When's that happening?
March 23rd in Dub Scandal.
March 23rd. Yeah.
March 23rd in Sheffield. Free event. Couple good battles on there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll be promoting that in the build up to it. I mean, I don't mean to be a downer, but when you see a card with like 6 2-on-2 battles, it's like 2 of those are going to happen. Yeah,
like I think they are a lot harder to get it, obviously because there's 4 people.
Yeah.
And I remember back in, was it fucking Revival 5 or something?
Oh, yeah. It was going to be a 2-day card, wasn't it?
It was supposed to be a 2-day card. Yeah. It had like the fuckload of 2-on-2s, and then barely any of them showed up. And so it was a 1-day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, there were still some good battles on there, like Rivers and Fura versus Tony D and Locksmith and stuff like that. Yeah, that has some of the most original Rivers name flips I've ever heard from Tony. It's fucking really, really good battle from him and Lock. I think it's like we're EastEnders, so from the start you see Rivers laid out flat or something like that. Like, yeah, some really, really smart bars. But Rivers versus Chris Cleese then. This is a new thing that Premier Battles are doing, their sort of UK Championship title that exists within the tournament itself. What do you think about that as an idea, first of all?
I really like that. Brings back that competitiveness that Premier already had, but, adds another layer to it and makes, obviously you have like the team wanting the whole team title being like top at the end of the season. But now they have this like little title at every event. It's a really nice idea. I really like it.
And in the grand scheme of things, in other title matches that you've seen on other leagues, did the quality live up to it? How was it between Cleese and Rivers?
It was a pretty fucking good battle. This was classic Cleese, classic Rivers. They're really good writing. Obviously, Cleese was clowning around as usual, but punching as well. And Rivers was really fucking good writing and really authentic. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Chris with a slight choke?
He did have a slight choke, but he brought it back, Yeah.
So there's been a few little chokes at this event, which is a bit of a shame. But, I mean, that just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens, but that's life.
I mean, as you know, we don't need to really get into that. But as I know as well, as we all do, I think eventually it happens to everyone, even us very, very low tiers. So Danny Jack also was there, just quickly before we get back into the battle, doing like Matchday live on the Instagram. I don't know if you follow much that. I know you would have been in the venue yourself, but I was kind of out and about. And that was a really cool thing. I think that was a good idea.
yeah, like gets the crowd. Obviously there's going to be a lot of people on there who want to be like want to know what's happening, want to know what's the vibes like, and so I think that's just a really nice idea. Just get the people on social media just a bit more involved into Premier.
Hulk saying on the thread that Rivers was killing him, talking that real shit, but the crowd too hyped to Chris's antics.
Yeah, I mean, Hulk. There was a third round where Rivers was talking all that real shit, and he did it really well. But Chris was definitely catering to the audience, and definitely just clowning around and keeping it high energy as usual, which obviously works well in a small venue. So yeah, really killing it.
And just to recap the final results then, we'll finish with Rivers Cleese. Was 2-1 Lefty, 2-1 Matter, 2-1 Jay Short, 2-1 Major Concerns, 3-0 Maverick, and then the winner was Rivers, right?
Yeah, the winner was Rivers. I think it was 2-1. They said it was like because 40-15 on each card, so I think that's like a 2-1 for football terms. But yeah, I think it was a really well-deserved battle. Well-deserved win.
Yeah, awesome that he won. I mean, yeah, Rivers had some great material on Premier Battles. I still think Yunnan beat him. I will still always think that Yunnan actually outwrote him in that battle, was a bit more interesting. But shout out to Rivers every time. It's awesome that he took this W from Leeds, and he's facing Matter next. Is that right, Rivers?
Matter was announced as the next title.
Weren't they supposed to battle on Don't Flop? Retaliation.
They were. Yeah. Retaliation, and then I think Rivers had transport problems or something.
Okay.
And so.
And that's it. That was Matchday 1 of Season 2 of Premier Battles. Again, if you want to watch any of these battles, go subscribe to their channel. I'm sure they'll do a pay-per-view of the network, or they'll be out in time as well on the YouTube. Did you go to the Shotty gig after? I know it was in Manny after.
I didn't. Had to get a train back. Yeah, I know they were supposed to announce his opponent there.
Yeah.
But I don't think they actually did.
No, so it's not leaked out, no.
Nah, it'll come out one day. Looking forward to it.
Who do you want it to be?
I know it's going to be a massive name.
Yeah.
I want it to be like someone like Lux, but whether they'll be able to get him over.
Yeah.
He'll have a pretty massive fee.
Oh, yeah, an outrageous fee, yeah. And I mean, they keep saying whoever you think it is bigger than that sort of thing. So, I mean, who knows exactly who it's going to be? But stay tuned, guys. Apex, September 7th. Sorry, I don't know where they're going to. They haven't announced the venue yet. I'd love them to go back to the Ritz. I don't know if that's a possibility.
I think they did talk about maybe the Ritz. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the biggest venue in UK Power ever had.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. You watch those Manchester versus London, the crowd, it ripples, the applause and stuff. It goes back and back and back. It's a fucking mad event. So, subscribe to Premier Battles, as I say before. Sounds like it was a really, really cool event. Appreciate you coming on, man. What's your what's your future plans? Are you battling again after the 2-on-2? What events are you going to attend?
I have got a battle locked in after that, but I can't really talk about that until it's announced.
Is it versus Shotty at Apex? Is it you?
Yeah, that's it. Main eventing Apex. Yeah. Next event I'm attending is the Rappers Comedians in Liverpool, the Chalked Out one.
Yes, that looks great. That one, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's going to the Academy one, and obviously the Dub one. I've got a couple more plans.
Are you going Shrewsbury?
I don't know, because that's the day before Academy.
It is the day before the Academy, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be hard to attend both.
Yeah. I'm going to try and do, but I'm definitely doing Shrewsbury. But yeah, I'll try and get it down to the Academy the following day as well. I mean, you've got to, so much battle rap in close proximity. But as always, guys, follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Get in touch with me, battleresume@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, you want to give back to the show, the Patreon link is down below. We've got lots of cool stuff coming out on the channel soon. We'll have the Big J Battle Rap Resume episode out by the end of the week. I'm also doing a top 5 Ogmios rounds episode as well with Jonathan Rimmer. That should be out in the next few weeks. Working on the next WRC recap for Ruin Your Day. Probably going to do a top 10 disliked, some other league. I did do a URL one, but it got flagged and no one can see it, so that's really frustrating. But what about yourself, man? Any Twitter, anything you'd like to promote?
No, I don't have Twitter. Got an from Facebook, Young battle under the name Young Crumpet. I've got a little like media blogging thing that you've been on outside of media.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's this small like kind of like battle rap podcast thing where we get big battles, and we've had Chilla Jones, we've had Bill Collector, a couple of other big names. Check it out. It's a really good thing.
Yeah. I'll put the link for that down below. Yeah, that is a great show. Definitely. I didn't know you had Chiller and Bill Collector on. That's fire.
Yep.
I'll definitely have to listen to those ones as well. But this has been Tom. Go check out Premier Battles, Matchday 1. Go to the Academy as well. That's going down. I think that's the 16th of March. I think that's the next event. Young Crumpet. Thanks again, sir.
Thank you, as always, for having me, Tom.